Hi, hello. Well, you have asked me to share some more makeup tips and tutorials, how-tos with you, so here is another one. This is just using a few of the things that I've found over the years have been really worth the investment. They're a little bit different, but when I want to do a really proper face, then these are the kinds of things that I will use. So to start off with, I've got a completely clean, naked face. A bit scary. And I have just prepped it with a little bit of this. I'm using Beauty Pie. It's the Super Stem Cell Moisture Shot Serum. That's a bit of a mouthful. I'll put everything in the links so you don't have to worry about writing this down. But it's a really nice sort of serum-y moisture boost. And I find that because, having older skin, obviously, it really drinks up moisture. It really soaks it. So I have just stepped out of the shower and I've got completely clean skin. I just literally wipe my face with the flannel in the shower. Fairly low maintenance when it comes to things like that. And then I've put my serum on, moisturising serum. Don't forget, if you're not yet a member of Beauty Pie, if you use the code Liz Loves, all in capitals, you get your first month's membership free, which is really good. So then you get access to products like this, really cheap. So that is my base, but you can use any moisturiser that you like, just something that doesn't leave your skin feeling shiny, because you want to kind of give your skin a good base for makeup. Now, the other thing that I think is worth it is a makeup primer. This is one that I was introduced to. Kerry September started using this on my face for shoots, and I've now gone out and rebought it because I really like it. It's by Burberry, and it is called Nude Radiance Fresh Glow. Again, I'll put all the links in, so don't worry about this. It's a bit of an odd sort of packaging thing. I'll do it on the back of my hand and then you can see. So, oh, I'm coming to the end of it. I need to buy some more. So that's the texture of it. It's, it's gone a little bit gloopy. Actually, you just need to work it into the skin. It's got a kind of a bit of a sheen to it. But what I do is I mix it. So I'm mixing it with one of my favourite foundations. I vary my foundations all the time, and I have a kind of wardrobe of them depending on the time of year, the tint of my skin, if I want heavy coverage, if I want something a bit lighter, like a tinted moisturiser. This gives really good coverage. It's Yves Saint Laurent, Touche Éclat, and this was born out of their under-eye concealer, the famous Touche Éclat, and they then extended the line into more things for the face, and it's called Le Teint, which is the tint. And this is 01, B1, I think. And I mix that with the Burberry Radiant Glow. So it's like a primer. And normally, actually, I'm doing this backwards. Normally I do it in the palm of my hand. So I can then just wipe it onto my face. It's not very elegant, but there you are. So I'll pop a little bit more on, I think. And I find that the two mix together. I mean, I think technically you're supposed to put one on after the other, but frankly, I just mix them together. So, gosh, I need some more of that as well. I've been using this so much. So yeah, equal amounts of both, mix them together, and then just use it all over the face and take it down over the neck as well, especially if you're wearing something that's a bit lower cut. Just work it into the skin. It sinks really well, I find, into the skin. It doesn't leave any sort of chalkiness or cakiness. It's just a really good base, and it's obviously worth spending just a few minutes to get your foundation on properly. Apologies for the extra noises. I'm in my bedroom, which is above the kitchen, and I think Lily is making some beauty bars because I can hear the mixer going. So I also take it over eyelids because it gives you a good base then for eyeshadow. There we go. So that's the thing, really, is to spend that little bit of time, and obviously you want to push it well up into your hairline so you don't get any tide marks around the side of your head. And at the chin, take it right down over here as well. And there you go. So that's my base. So I'm kind of looking quite evenly coloured now. Now I want to share with you a concealer that I found, which I think is genius. And it's by It Cosmetics, and it's called Bye Bye Under Eye. I get so many questions. What can I do for bags under the eyes, dark shadows? This is really good, and you just need a tiny bit. This shade is medium, and honestly, like that, okay? Tiny, tiny, weeny bit, and you just dot it under, just in this section, because this is the bit in the inner corner where you get dark shadows, because that's doesn't get very much light reflected onto the face. So I use my ring finger because it's got the lightest amount of pressure, and just work that under the eyes. Actually, I had a really good night's sleep last night, so my dark eyeshadows aren't looking too bad. But you can just use more or less depending on your need. So I hope you can see that going on there. But it, honestly, once you've put this stuff on, it does not shift. It blends really well, I found, with foundation. And it doesn't go all cakey or kind of streaky. Doesn't look obvious under the eyes if you've got drier, older skin like me. So that's Bye Bye Under Eye. There we go. Bye-bye. Bye-bye bags. Then I'm going to set all of that with powder. But before I do that, I'm going to use my cream blusher. I'm using a Bobbi Brown cream blusher, and as usual, I just use it on my finger, little smile, like that, and you just pat that over your cheeks. Just pat that in, upwards and outwards, so you work from your cheek apples upwards and out, just to give you that healthy, flushed glow, as if you've just come out of the gym, or you've just finished a wonderful Natalie Clough Pilates class, and you're just glowing with health. So I'm going to be doing an Instagram live in a minute, so I'm going to pop a little bit more on than I would normally do, because I've got a little light on my phone which can sometimes just make me look a bit drained. So there we go, got my nice healthy glow. And what I like about this one is you can also lose it on your lips as well, but I'm not going to do that because I'm just going to use a different lip gloss today, which I'll show you. So that's the Bobbi Brown one, that is in raspberry. And then I'm going to set it all with a powder. This is my favourite Laura Mercier translucent face powder. Take a nice big fat blusher brush, tip it into the lid of your face powder, give it a knock so it doesn't go everywhere, so you're not wasting it. And then what you want to do is sort of push it into the skin to start with, to get it going into the skin. So it sets, push it all in, and then smooth it down. You know, we've got little hairs on our face, especially as we get older, we have even more hairs. And so just smoothing those down is going to give your skin a more even look. So just go final brush over like that. Don't forget your neck as well. And then I'm going to use something that I also like. I'm not a big fan of contouring. Of course, you can contour. This is where you put your dark sort of stripes here and here. It can be helpful to give you a bit of definition, especially if your face is quite round like mine. So I like this. This is Saint-Tropez, and it's a 3-way bronzing compact. You can see I've been using it quite a lot. So I'm going to use a fairly sort of sturdy powder brush. And what you can do with this is you can either sweep it all the way around like that to gather a nice lot of powder, and then just kind of brush that everywhere to give you a look as if you've been sitting on a lovely beach somewhere in the sunshine, which I don't suppose many of us have been doing. Or you can use the 2 darker colours here, these 2. I'll just use these like that. So I've got the darker shade. And then if you want to do a bit of gentle contouring, you just suck your cheeks in like that. And you just put a little bit of darkness just here, just to give you that very slightly sort of hollowy look. Just making the most of your cheekbones. Not very much, but it's just enough to have a little bit of emphasis. And if you want to also sharpen your jawline, you do the same. So you just run that under your jawline, just there. And it just creates a little illusion of shadow that just kind of sharpens up the jaw area, particularly if you're a little bit jowly. It's quite useful to have that just under there. And then, of course, you can use it on your eyelids. You can just use it just to sort of warm up the face if you're feeling that you are looking a little bit pale and you just want to add a little of extra warmth, you know, without adding loads of blusher, then this is really good. It's also mineral, so it's giving you sun protection as well if you're outside. So that's the Saint-Tropez one, which I think is very good. Now I'm going to come on to eyes very quickly. Again, this is a Beauty Pie palette. And, you know, I found this in my cupboard here. I like this so much. I bought 2 of them. That just shows you how much I like this palette. And it is, it's called the 10 Best Matte Eyeshadow Shades. And it is good. Those are the 10 that you get. Okay, so, and it's got a highlighter and sculptor and all the neutral shades. And if you saw me doing my brows earlier on an earlier video, then you will have seen me using the sort of minky coloured here ones that I use for the brows. So what I'm going to do here, I like to use lots of different colours sort of blended together because I think they're softer. So that is just a little bit of darkness on the lid, just like that. So I'm just using these 3 middle browny minky soft shades, just like that, just over the lid, gives a little bit of definition, and then a tiny bit just under here. What's left on my eyeshadow brush is just going underneath, and then I just use my fingers just to make sure that it's all going nicely upwards like this, just to give a little, again, the illusion of a bit of lift. And then I would also use one of the paler colours. I like these here, these at the top, and I'll often mix these 2 together. I find the white's a bit too white and the pink's a bit too pink, but if you mix them together, then that just sort of goes over the top and it just blends the dark shadow in nicely. Just gives a softness to it if you wash it over the top. Or if you want a stronger look, you could put your dark shadow on first. Doesn't matter really. And then I will just take a little bit and run it through my brows. So I'm going to use that middle one just to fill in a little bit of sparseness on the brow, just like that. And again, pushing the colour in and up. So I'm pushing my eyebrows upwards and then tapering it out at the edges as well, just a little bit. Just work it in with your finger so it's not too obvious. And now when it comes to mascara, this is also by IT Cosmetics and it's called Tight Line. It's really interesting. And it's got a super fine brush, do you see? And it's like a base coat for mascara. And what you do with it is you wiggle it really into your lash line. So I'm pushing it. I'm actually getting a little bit of colour on the inner bit of my lashes. I think I need to buy a new one of these because I think this one is coming to the end. But what this does is it sort of combs your lashes upwards so it gets them ready for mascara, which is great. Deposits a little bit of colour on there. But also that super fine brush means that you can get it right into that waterline. And getting a little bit of emphasis on your waterline is a really nice way of kind of using like a natural eyeliner. Then I'm going to put my mascara on top. This is my favourite one, which I've talked about before. It's the Clinique. And I've used it so often that the name has kind of worn off. High Impact Curling Mascara. It's got the curved brush, which I find really useful for just helping to lift lashes upwards. I don't use too much mascara on the inner. I'm much more focused on the outer and pulling lashes up and away, and then just using the end, the tip of the brush at the end, just to pull those lashes outwards. For me, it's all about trying to lift the eyes naturally so you get that little sweep upwards, which, as we know, we're kind of, as we age, we're counteracting the droop, aren't we? The droop downwards. So anything that we can do with an illusion to help sweep things upwards is helpful. And I don't use mascara on my lower lashes. I mean, I might if I was going to a party or an event or for a photo shoot or something, then I might. But generally, I won't. I might just go over that again. A bit more. I love this mascara. And it comes off really easy just with warm water. It's really good. I could also do my inner lash line. This is the Charlotte Tilbury pencil that I've used before. Actually, that's not the right shade. Let me see if I can find. This one is, yeah, it's Rock and Coal. That's what I like. And this shade is, actually, that's a different shade. That's Violet Elizabeth, which is a sort of bluey, purpley shade. Where is my other one? Here we go. It's hiding because I've used it so often. It's a bit smaller. This one is a liquid eye pencil. And it's called Verushka Mink. And this is where you just go on the inner edges of your lids like that, just to give a bit of definition. And if you want to, you can just do a teeny flick at the end as well, just to flick the eyes out. Actually, I normally sharpen my pencils first to give them a bit more of an edge, and also to make sure that they are super clean, because obviously hygiene is really important, especially if you're going inside the rim of the eyelid. But all makeup is ophthalmologically tested to make sure that it's safe to use in this eye area, but still be careful with keeping things clean. I'll just sweep that away a little bit. So there we go. I've got my eyes on. And then lastly, lips. And this is a brand that I have recently discovered. And it's an organic eco cosmetic brand called, I'm going to pronounce this terribly, apologies, Kjaer Weiss. And all the compacts and everything they do are really heavy. And that's because you can buy refills. Yeah, so what you do is you get refills to this lip gloss. So this is a really nice, heavy, sturdy end. It is quite expensive, but of course being refillable is really good. And what I love about this one is you just need a tiny bit. It actually smells and tastes really good. But lip gloss can tend to disappear, but this doesn't. It stays. So that is a really nice one. And this shade is called Intimate. So there we go. That's it. I'm going to have to run because I've got my next Instagram TV. I hope that was helpful. All the details, the shades, the colours, the makes will be in the link. If you're watching this on Instagram, it'll be in Linktree. Facebook, we can obviously do links. And the same with YouTube. It'll be in the link below. Hope you enjoy. Let me know. Bye-bye.